Hello, welcome to Sideways. Well, this will make you laugh. I just recorded a very lengthy introduction to this week's episode that I was quite pleased with, I must say. I thought I was on top form, and then I looked down and I realised I hadn't pressed record. So I'm afraid none of you will get to enjoy that. It also featured Daisy barking violently at another dog, which was quite entertaining. So, shush! Come on! Daisy, this way! Well, there you go. That's, must have been fate that you were bound to hear Daisy's bark. And that was probably even better than the first one, because she was barking at a puppy, a Labrador puppy, no less. So I don't know what got into her head, but anyway, in my last introduction that you won't hear, I was banging on about how, hang on, she's going off country now. Where are you going? Come on. In my last introduction, I was talking about how we've been struggling in the heat this week, and how it's been mad, really, because, I mean, it has been hot, there's no doubt about that. Personally, I'm not built for 36 degrees of heat. I absolutely detest it, but that said, it seems as if it's been the only thing in the news. The only thing anybody's talking about is how hot it is. Earlier in the week, I sent a message to Martin on one of the days when it was 36 degrees. And he, being someone who enjoys the heat, I sent a message saying, "Is it hot enough for you?" And he sent a reply in which he said, "It's still a bit chilly." So I think that gives you some indication as to the difference between us when it comes to our liking for temperature. Why am I talking about this? Oh, that's right. I'm talking about this because this morning it's cool. There's been a storm. It's overcast. It's lovely, really lovely out walking this morning. And I thought, because the birds all sound amazing, I'd take the opportunity to record this introduction. The only drawback is that it's Saturday and we don't record the episode until tomorrow. So not only can I not tell you what's in it, I can't even tell you what it's about. So I know that's not very helpful. Oh, hang on, I've just got a reply from Martin to tell me what it's about. So this week's episode is about how to deliver bad news. So an example of that might be the weather forecasters telling me that the heat wave is going to extend for a further week. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. But I can't give you any indication as to what else we're going to talk about, because obviously we haven't done it yet, and time travel is not an ability that I have. So I'll leave it at that. Listen to the birds for a few seconds, and how to deliver bad news.
Good morning.
Good morning. I wondered what sort of background you'd have today. I imagined it would be something football related.
Oh, it's the one I was using last week, so I'll keep it on whilst, being in the stadium. Yeah. So I thought
Do you know which stadium that is?
I don't offhand, but I thought I'd keep it on whilst the World Cup was still in progress. Which I'm sure you stayed up to watch the England game last night.
Well, I know this will surprise you, but I actually did.
You did? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't texting me or anything, so I thought you'd just called it.
Well, I didn't text you because you didn't text me, so I thought perhaps you were out or something, so I didn't want to disturb you just in case. But I did. I did switch off and go to sleep about 5 minutes before the end, just to make a statement.
Yeah, okay.
To demonstrate that I wasn't happy about what was going on.
What, not happy about England winning or playing?
Well, no, not happy.
Well.
Not happy about the timing of the matches.
No.
For me. I see the next game's at 5 o'clock, so it's just before bed.
That's more a bit of you, that one, isn't it? 5 o'clock kickoff.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Well, perhaps they've taken your plight into account.
I don't think they have, because I think I'm right in saying that if they win that game, their next game after that will be at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, will it? Oh, God. No, I didn't know that.
I definitely won't be staying up for that one, I can promise you.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't suppose our listeners would be very happy about us banging on about football, will they?
I don't suppose they will, but it's. I think it's quite bad news, it being on at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I can see what you've done there.
You did, because, we're talking about delivering bad news.
Yeah. I just have delivered you some bad news, haven't I?
You have, and I don't think you really followed the protocol that we're going to be looking at.
Okay, well, let's try this then. Once you've gone through the protocol, okay. I'm going to deliver that bad news to you again.
Okay.
And see if I can do it in a manner that is more in keeping with the way it should be done. How about that?
Yes, more fitting with the... Right. Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
This was delivering bad news. This was a subject that came up in one of the groups I was running quite recently.
Okay.
Where someone said that he'd really struggled in his previous job.
Yeah.
And he used to have a crafty drink beforehand. Whenever he was delivering some bad news, a little bit of Dutch courage, as it were.
Right. Okay.
And I thought, well, I wasn't able to offer much advice in this area, and I thought, I ought to have a little bit of research on this in case this crops up again, because I'm sure a lot of people would have done exactly the same. I know I have. So it's one of those things. This poor lad, he ended up getting sacked for being very drunk at work during a particularly testing time when they were sort of...
When he was having to deliver a lot of bad news.
He was having to tell people about redundancy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's ironic, isn't it? He was having to tell a lot of people they'd lost their job, and because of it and the way he dealt with it, he had to be told he'd lost his job.
Ended up losing us as well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But before we start, though, before we get into the meat of it, there's a couple of little things. Quite a nice little headline. It throws up a lot of questions, really. But the headline was, "Student threatened to expose teacher's OnlyFans account to get better grades." Okay. Which I can't imagine that anyone would fall for such... I suppose,
wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I mean, if you were a teacher and you did have an OnlyFans account,
well, that's the first point to and I think there's some sort of protocol, isn't there, that teachers limit their exposure on social media? That's for sure.
Well, that's not really limiting your exposure, is it? I mean, that's literal exposure.
Well, it depends if you see that as social media or not. I suppose it is to some extent, but yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. So did the report say whether presumably the teacher had an account to what am I trying to say?
Well, it didn't. I mean, OnlyFans, it can be more. There can be more to it than just selling
sex.
Yeah,
I don't know why I felt so awkward about being so straightfortable there.
No,
unlike me. But
it is. It is unlike you. So
I think what was confusing me, what was happening in my head was I was thinking. I mean, I don't know anything about OnlyFans, but what I do know from what I've read around stuff over years is that people do things like foot fetishes and stuff like that on there. So, I mean, I guess your geography teacher being a foot fetishist on OnlyFans probably not ideal, but it might be less bad with the local authority than doing hardcore pornography, for example.
I think there probably are levels. I think even at the lowest level of selling sweaty socks or something would still be frowned upon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought so, yeah. Is it something you've considered?
It's not, but it wasn't available. And I could have done with some better grades, but I didn't have anything on the teachers back in the day.
Oh dear! If only we'd known about Greg Wright,
Well, quite.
because he kicked you, didn't he? He kicked you when he was carrying a record player.
He did kick me. We'd have all got A in music if we'd known what he was up to at that point, wouldn't we? Anyway, the second one was, now, do you remember you asking me what my spirit animal was, or if I was an animal? Well, this is this is a little story about a giraffe.
Okay. Oh, lovely. All right.
A giraffe named Gracie. Now, Gracie escaped in Texas.
Oh, right.
Okay. Now, it's
difficult to keep a low profile.
Well, no one can seem to find her. She's gone missing. Gracie's been missing. Missing for 2 weeks apparently. She went up a hill to feed.
Yeah, as you do.
And then she came down the wrong side of the hill and went missing. So I think that Gracie had developmental topographical disorientation, like we talked about before. Yeah. Which I know that I suffer from. So it's definitely my spirit animal. There's no doubt about it. If they suffer from DTD as well, then I'm all in.
And I think it's true to say that you and Gracie have never been seen in the same room together, have you?
I might have captured her. She might be.
So you could be one in the same, couldn't you?
We could be, or
she might be your alter ego.
Or I could have nicked her. She could be living in my flat right now.
Oh, I hope she isn't, because I don't think a giraffe would be happy in a flat.
You're not supposed to have pets. But
would that count, do you think?
I think a giraffe.
So if the landlord came round and said, come on, you're not allowed to have pets, you say, but it's a giraffe. People don't keep giraffes as pets. You know, you might get out on a technicality there, mightn't you?
I could do, but poor Gracie would have to bend her head all the whole time, just getting through the door and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I hope they find her. I feel a bit anxious for her now.
Yeah, well, I do. But perhaps they could do, like I was thinking about this actually. If they have, you could keep one as a pet. If they have, they have micro pigs, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like bonsai pigs, really, aren't they? They could have, if they had micro giraffes, you could have them, or have bonsai animals. You could have a little safari park in your own front room, couldn't you?
You could, I suppose. I mean, in some respects, a sort of an alpaca looks a bit, it's sort of vaguely giraffe-like, aren't they?
Yeah.
Got quite lengthy necks and so I suppose that would be the nearest you get to a micro giraffe. If anybody can think of a different animal that is more of a micro giraffe, do let us know.
And I'll be all ears.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's elephants.
Oh, hey, bad news. Should we get onto that?
Yeah.
Should we get onto the subject matter? Yeah. Delivering bad news. One of the hardest interpersonal skills, I always feel. It's tough, isn't it? I mean, anyone can do it.
It depends on the setting, doesn't it?
That is one of the things I'm going to come on to because I mean, delivering good news is easy, but bad news, very tricky. But if you do it well, it can help to. Can help to preserve trust and reduce distress and show respect. This is what you should have been considering when you told me about the England game. Right,
which I didn't do, did I? So presumably you are now less trusting and you've lost respect for me.
But there's proven strategies that you can use.
Right, okay.
Okay. The first one is to prepare properly beforehand. Do you remember the little phrase they used to use back in the corporate days about proper preparation?
Prevents piss poor performance.
It does. And when you look it up, that particular phrase, they miss out the word piss. So I think generally speaking,
that's a shame.
Yeah, because it alliterates beautifully.
And I think it's an important piece of emphasis as well, isn't it?
Oh, well, yes, I suppose so. But I suspect because it came from originally the phrase was used in the military.
Right.
And I think they just used proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Right.
And then it got out into the corporate world and they put piss in there just to give it a little bit of clout.
I suppose actually in some ways the 5 Ps is better than the 6 Ps, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You're taking the piss out, aren't you?
Exactly. You're taking the piss, aren't you?
Taking the piss, yeah.
Which is always good.
So anyway, prepare beforehand.
Right. Okay.
So you've got to know exactly what you're going to say. You've got to clarify the message.
Okay.
You know exactly what you need to say and why. So I mean,
why is that important? Do you think?
Because you will flounder, won't you?
Right. Okay.
you'll be in a position.
Okay, so you'll kind of lose a bit of confidence, and then that potentially makes the whole thing more awkward, and perhaps for the person you're telling, makes it land worse than it would otherwise have done.
Absolutely, it would. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And they talk about during the preparation, you should try and sort of anticipate what the reaction is going to be. I think you probably have a good insight if you know the person you're going to be delivering the message to.
Yeah.
Because they may feel, shock and anger or sadness.
Did you feel any of those things when I told you that England were kicking off at 1 o'clock in the morning?
A little bit of shock, really. Right. Yeah.
But no anger.
A little bit of anger.
Any sadness?
And a bit of sadness as well. Yeah.
Okay. Crikey, this is right on the money, isn't it? This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the third one, which was absolutely you touched upon it, was to make sure you know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You've sort of anticipated how it's going to go, but you've got to choose the right setting.
Yes. Okay.
So like sort of private and quiet and away from interruptions. I mean, I don't know if you remember The Office.
Yes, I do. Certainly do. Yeah.
When David Brent was, do you remember he was laying off the forklift driver?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the early episodes. And in the room there, not only was Gareth, his assistant, sort of sitting sort of casually on the windowsill, there was the computer guy in there as well, wasn't he, fixing the computer?
Yeah.
And they was having this discourse, and it went completely off track. And
yeah.
They were talking about old elves and all sorts of things in the end. So the setting was poor. In fact, if you want to see how not to do everything that we're talking about here, watch that episode of The Office, because it's just fantastic.
Well, certainly in a corporate sense. I mean, this reminds me of, and this has come up a few times over the years with people that I've been working with in the EAP work that I do. But it's like when at work, you're told by your boss on a Friday afternoon, can you come in and see me on Monday morning? And they don't tell you why.
Yeah.
Right, which is, I mean, it's that, of course, that's not necessarily bad news, but you immediately think it is bad news.
Of course. Yeah.
And in terms of context, that's awful, isn't it? To leave someone with something hanging over them for, the weekend. So that, I think, is an illustration of you being completely unconscious of the impact that what you're saying is having on the other person. Right?
It says more about the person that they probably just want to procrastinate as well. They don't want to deliver. And that's why you think it's going to be bad news. You can think, well, if it's good, they can tell me straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if you work for the National Lottery and you ring up and tell people that they've won, it's a fantastic job, isn't it? A very easy thing to do.
Yeah. I wonder how you get a job like that. That must be great.
Full of joy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, winning a large sum of money isn't always necessarily it doesn't necessarily lead to happiness, does it?
No, it doesn't. And again, that was something we were talking about again in one of the groups recently, about money being a great enabler.
Yes.
Anyway, we're going off track.
Well, don't then.
You're dragging me off track.
It's because you're so easily led off track. That's the problem.
I am, absolutely I am. But the second point was about being direct. Being direct but compassionate.
Yeah.
So apparently avoiding vague language or sort of beating around the bush is great.
Yeah.
And deliver the core message early but gently, which you did.
I did, yeah. I was just going to say, I didn't beat around the bush, did I? I gave it to you straight.
But you should have said, look, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but...
Yeah, but I wasn't sorry to tell you.
No, you were. You was taking great joy.
So you're telling me that I should, that being disingenuous is important when you're delivering bad news?
Yes, I think it is as well.
Is it?
I think that, being overly indirect can cause confusion or increase anxiety, but at least you were direct, weren't you?
I was direct, and if I'd say, it's like, I'll tell you an example of this. Sometimes when I get an inquiry, from someone, particularly if I get an inquiry from someone who's been recommended by someone else.
Yeah.
If I haven't got any space, what I used to say as a routine was I'd start my response with, I'm sorry, but I'm full at the moment, right? Or something like that. And then I thought to myself, I'm being disingenuous because I'm not sorry. Obviously, I'm not sorry that I've got enough work, So I stopped putting that. And it's surprising how awkward that makes you feel. It's like the difference between saying to someone, hey, listen, I'm really sorry, but I can't see you, and I don't have any space. It feels like you're moving from something that is slightly disingenuous to something that's so harsh that it makes you feel unkind.
I think so, because I think the third point here is about using empathy and acknowledging feelings.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine if someone rings you up and says, I want to come and see you, you haven't had time to prepare beforehand, really, but
No.
it sounds like you've got almost like a routine you'd go into anyway because it happens so regularly.
Yeah.
But yeah, using empathy and acknowledging feelings. So recognize their emotional response without trying to fix it immediately. Say things like, I can see this is really upsetting, or I understand that this isn't what you were hoping for. So it is acknowledging what the response starts to come across as.
Yes. As long as you have some idea of what that response in the other person is. I mean, sometimes it's obvious, isn't it? But
yeah,
I think also when delivering bad news, sometimes you can get, because you feel stressed about it as the deliverer, you can sometimes make assumptions about how the other person's going to receive it, which aren't necessarily accurate.
Exactly.
It's almost like you've built it up more in your own mind than the other person's level of response to it.
Yeah, it is. Which is why if you prepare beforehand, you prepare for more than one response. I think it's going to be quite useful.
The 6 Ps, you mean?
The 6 Ps. Yeah. But the other one, the next one, probably leads into, or it leads on from what you were saying, really, to avoid blame or defensiveness. Take responsibility where appropriate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, because that's it. I think sometimes you can. I mean, maybe my example's a poor one, but I think the point that I'm making is you shouldn't fake your feeling when you're saying something to someone. No. I'm really sorry about this, and when actually that's not how things are, because in a sense you're being a bit disrespectful to the other person. Then, if you're telling another grown-up something that might be disappointing for them, you have to let them deal with it in the way that they deal with it, rather than trying to soft soap it to such an extent that you're almost kind of preempting how they're going to respond.
Yeah, I think yes, and I suppose it comes back to we did an episode many moons ago about sympathy versus empathy.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
and it falls into that a bit, doesn't it? You can make things worse if you sympathise. Oh no, God, I'm really so sad. I'm really so sad.
I bet you're really upset about this. And no, I'm all right actually.
Yeah, yeah. If someone being made redundant, they might think, "Well, hey, that's exactly what I mean,
that is a great example, because for some people, though, the thought of it might be appalling, and they might be in sort of terrible shock in the immediate aftermath. In the fullness of time, they recognise that it's given them an opportunity that they otherwise might not have taken for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it happened to my dad when he was made redundant. The company was closing down.
Yeah.
So he got early retirement. Got his pension paid up, got his wages paid up. He was as happy as Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fantastic news for him.
Yeah. And he wouldn't have made that decision himself, would he?
No, he wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
No. So, yes, avoiding blame or defensiveness. Taking responsibility where appropriate, focusing on facts rather than assigning fault.
Yeah, well, I did do that when I told you about the football. I gave you the straight up and down facts.
You did, and you didn't say whose fault it was.
Well, it's FIFA's fault.
It's FIFA's fault.
I mean, that's clear. It's right straight in their lap.
It doesn't need clarifying, that one, does it?
No, we all know.
You know out, I say, don't you? Give clear, honest information. Be truthful, but avoid overwhelming them with too much detail at once.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah.
When people feel bad about what they're telling other people, they will justify it to the nth degree. It's like total over-justification, over-explanation. Yeah. And what I think people don't realise when they do that is the more you over-explain something and justify it, the weaker it appears the argument is.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you're actually removing substance from the message the more you try and justify it. So it's like, paradoxically, the more you try and justify something, the less justifiable it sounds.
I agree. And I think an example which a lot of people can relate to probably is if you've got to ring a mate and say that you can't go on something you were previously going to go on.
Oh yeah.
Something has cropped up and you say, I can't do this. And then you'll go to great lengths to explain why you can't do it, where perhaps you just didn't fancy it.
No, it's a complete sentence.
Is exactly that. And,
Yeah.
I know, having read your blog last week, that can be a bit difficult for you sometimes. If going out even if you've already arranged something, and you have to backtrack. Yeah,
but usually if I think as I wrote in that piece, if I've arranged to go with someone, that's the fail safe. I'll turn up then. If I've only promised myself I'll go somewhere, that's when I tend to let myself down.
All right.
But actually, your example there, if you've agreed to go somewhere with a friend and then you have to back out, I mean, that is a good example. But it also when perhaps the thing that happens more commonly for people is when they're asked if they want to do something and they feel bad about saying no and they find themselves saying yes.
Yes.
And, then when they back out, or even if they refuse at that, first juncture, they feel as if they've got to tell you why they're saying no.
Yeah.
And that comes back to the, no is a complete sentence. It's okay for you to say no to stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. But I think talking about that situation where perhaps you'd agree to something and then unagree later on down the line. How many times, and I'm sure a lot of people have done this, in the pub, last thing at night, you're full of beer, and you come up with some great plans with people. Oh, we're definitely going to do. I'll definitely do that. And they ring you in the morning about it. You think, oh God, what a stupid thing to have agreed to there. And so that's not only it shows how bad the demon drink is, but also puts you in this position where you've got to deliver the bad news back, and you'll be at that point you'll be overemphasising why you can't.
Yeah, unless you're both in the same position. I remember one night in the Minstrel, I was with Adam. It was a Sunday night, and we'd been on the Bière de Garde all evening because that was proper strong brew.
Yeah.
And we decided that we were going to not bother to go to work the following day, and we were going to go on a day trip to France and get some more Bière de Garde, right?
Some more of that.
Exactly. And so we decided that. And so as is not surprising, when the morning came, we both decided that wasn't a very good idea. So had one of us decided that we didn't want to do it and the other one was still up for it, we'd have been in that position that you're describing. But
well, imagine Adam turning up outside your door in his car, revving his car, saying, come on, ready to go.
That would have been quite tricky.
It would have been very tricky.
Yeah. But if I'd agreed it with you in your drinking days, you would have been outside honking the horn, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, I would have been. Absolutely, I would have been, yeah. And I'd have probably just rung you from France. So I'd have got confused. So, yes. So, and also when you're avoiding this too much detail all at once, very important. But the reason, the way to manage that would be to sort of pause from time to time and say, does this make sense so far?
Give them a chance to express their own feelings, you mean?
Doing little chunks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chunking down.
Chunking down. So how do you think you could have delivered the England message a bit chunked down?
Chunked down. Well, I could have said to you, how are you coping with the late night kickoffs?
Yeah.
Right? And how would you feel if one of the games was later than any of the games that have been on so far?
Yeah.
I could check out your feelings before I gave you the hammer blow, couldn't I?
You could have done. You could get that to that point where the preparation is being done whilst you're in conversation.
Exactly. So let's role play it. How have you been coping with the late kickoffs, Martin?
Well, not too bad so far. They have, the latest one for the England game was last night. In fact, 10 o'clock.
What do you reckon your sort of limit would be in terms of kickoffs before
probably
it starts
midnight?
To get
Okay, yeah, probably midnight.
Okay. In which case, I've got a little bit of bad news for you. This might hit you quite hard. If England win their next game, the kickoff in the game after that, I believe, is going to be at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So I realise that might be difficult and disappointing for you.
Yeah, it is.
Tough shit.
Tough shit. Okay, well, that comes on to you didn't try and fix it, did you? Which is exactly right. It should be. But it does come into, there is an acronym we can use to remember all of this at the end.
Oh, great. Good.
Okay, so so this little space that you allow for a reaction.
Yeah.
So you can expect silence or questions or sort of emotional response. And one of the tips here is to don't rush to fill the silence.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
gives them time to process. Now, I think we may have talked about this before, but I really struggle with silence. I struggle with it when I'm running groups, and if I'm running it with a counsellor, they're really used to it. They're quite cool with it, and I'm just not. I suppose it also, anyone that's been to a fellowship meeting, like an AA meeting, there's some excruciating silences in there, and I just get this real compulsion just to break the silence and fill it. It just feels so awkward. It's one of the most awkward feelings I have.
Well, it's interesting that you say when you go to a fellowship meeting, there can be some excruciating silences because they're excruciating for you, but they're not necessarily excruciating for everyone else, are they?
Potentially not, but when you do talk about it to other people, they say, "Yeah, I do feel it. I feel this." They're all you want to say something, but you don't want to butt it. You want something. You want to leave it for someone else to do it.
I think that's a kind of human thing. I think we do find it, naturally quite difficult. That space, it does feel a little bit awkward. But what's interesting about that space, because it's true what you say about if you're working with a counsellor, because you have to leave space, don't you, when you're working in that sort of area. But what's interesting about that awkwardness is if you really tolerate it, I don't know if you've experienced this, I guess you must have done, but if you tolerate it, it sort of starts to build to a crescendo and it reaches a peak and then it starts to dissipate. If you really sit with it. Yeah, if you let yourself sit in silence and then it feels awkward, it feels more and more awkward, and then it starts to feel easier. So
that's a good tip because I've never let it get that far.
Yeah. Well, if you're running a group with people, all of whom find it difficult to sit in silence, then maybe you should try it. Maybe we're going to sit in silence. So we're going to sit in silence for 3 minutes and we're going to see what happens to ourselves and how we feel about that silence as the time goes on. And I reckon you'd find that the vast majority of people would get to the point where they started to feel a little bit more comfortable with it.
Is 3 minutes enough then, would you suggest?
Yeah, I think so. 3 minutes will feel like an eternity to you.
Yeah. So a crescendo about the halfway mark, do you reckon?
Well, I think it's probably different for different people. But that sort of there's a certain, I think it's difficult to describe, but I think there is this sort of tightness that you feel when there is nothing happening, particularly if you're one-on-one. I mean, it is the same in a group to a certain extent, but then if you tolerate that silence, then something else takes over. It's very difficult to describe it. You need to try it.
Yeah, I think I will. I think it's a good. It's a time filler as well, isn't it?
We could sit in silence here, couldn't we? But it wouldn't be very good for the.
It wouldn't be very good. Or you could edit one in, couldn't you? So we don't have to go through the pain, but other people do.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm okay with it. I'm all right with silence.
Well, you would do. You're a counsellor. That's what you do. That's what you chose.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing you can do. I think we've spoken about this before. What I do when there's silence, when it feels as if the silence is important, then I will look out the window.
Really? Doesn't that show complete disinterest in what's going on?
No, quite the reverse, actually, because if you're with one person and you stare at them and you're staring at each other in silence, that's difficult. But if you look away, then the indication there is that you're in your thoughts. Where else can you be? If you're in a situation with one other person and neither of you are speaking, you can't be anywhere than in your thoughts, can you? And if you're looking out of the window, you are, if anything, you are confirming that. You're saying there's nothing going on verbally between us now, and I'm thinking, and maybe you're thinking, or I'm feeling something, So anyway, there we are.
So I could try that as well in the group. I say we're going to sit 3 minutes. I'll just piss off. I'll look out the window.
I once had a therapist, one of the best therapists I ever had when I was, years and years ago, before I was a therapist, when I was struggling with depression. And she's the only therapist that used to work like this. I know a lot of therapists now do work like this, but I'd never worked with one. I used to go into her room on a Monday morning, my sessions were, and she would say nothing until I did. And I was in quite a dark place at that time, and quite often I'd go in there thinking, I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't really want to be here, And And there was something that, after that initial kind of awkwardness, there was something that became very comforting about that, knowing that I could go into this space, sit down in this chair, and it didn't matter if I didn't have anything to say because she wasn't going to say anything. And it kind of feels like a safe space then. You are, in the end, stripped completely of all kind of expectation when you're not feeling an obligation to say something. And that I think that's what I mean by the place that you get to when you can kind of go through the discomfort of silence.
Have you tried that method yourself with your...
I mean, that's not how I begin sessions. I don't tend to just sit until other people speak, but I'm fine with silence in sessions. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's the therapist's friend in many ways, but
it's where the magic happens, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, quite. So I understand, but it's, I can imagine if you're doing it online and you just turn up and just say nothing, it'd be quite tricky, wouldn't it?
I have actually, when I'm thinking about it, I have got clients with whom we begin like that because it's kind of naturally evolved like that. We will start the session and I'll wait for them to talk because that's just the way it's evolved. I think in some situations it can feel more natural than some sort of staged or performative opening.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
Have we moved off topic again?
Well, we're exploring space because that was an important part of this.
We're exploring space. We're into space exploration now.
We're virtually NASA. So this space we're allowing the next step after the space. So we've explored why the space should happen.
Yeah.
If possible, you can provide constructive options at that time. We talked earlier on about not rushing to give a fix, but during the winding up process, we can say things like, here's what we can do next.
Yeah,
I'm here to work through this with you, and this restores a sort of a sense of control. Yeah, and they always talk about staying calm and present and keep your tone steady and respectful.
Yeah,
and avoid appearing rushed or uncomfortable.
Yeah,
this can make I think the worst. You and I have probably both been in meetings or something where you're supposed to meet the boss or someone in an office, and you go in there, they're not there or whatever, and they turn up late and they're shuffling papers and all over the show. Terrible start to the especially if you're delivering bad news. You want to look like,
let's get on with it.
Yeah. And the last bit really was to check in afterwards, especially if the news is significant. A simple follow-up shows care and sort of reinforces that. And so the little framework, the little acronym.
Yeah. I'm going to write this down.
Okay, is the CARE acronym. Okay. So CARE, which is a nice word to use in its own right.
Yeah.
So C stands for clarify the message.
Yeah.
A is acknowledge emotions.
Yeah.
R is respond with empathy.
Yeah.
And E is explain next steps. So there we are. There's the CARE acronym to help you through delivering bad news.
Excellent. Right. So I'll go back to where we began, using the CARE acronym. Oh, I found it difficult to say acronym then.
Yeah, you struggled there.
Yeah. Right. So C, clarify. Okay. Don't beat around the bush, Graham. Have you been enjoying the World Cup, Martin?
Yes, I have. Yeah, very much so far. Yeah, been lots of games on.
Okay, good. I've got some information to give you about the potentially one of the upcoming England games.
Excellent. Yeah, good.
I recognise that this might be difficult for you to hear.
Yeah.
If England get through their next game, the game after that, I think, might be kicking off at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm wondering how you're feeling about that.
Oh, wow. Not good, really, especially if it's on a work day.
Yeah, it is on a work day.
It is on a work day. Yeah, that's going to be tricky to sort that one out, isn't it? Yeah, no, a bit upset about that. Missing a very important game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yes, of course it is. And I recognise that it's important to you to watch it.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about options.
Okay.
And I've come up with two.
Okay.
And the first one is you could record it, couldn't you? And then avoid the result. Watch it first thing in the morning when you wake up. It'll be as if, you're watching it live.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing you could do is go to bed a little bit earlier that night, set your alarm to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, watch the game, and then go back to sleep.
Yeah. Now you're talking. Yeah, that seems like a good option to me.
Does that sound reasonable? I know it's not ideal. It's not what you'd like ideally, but
Yeah.
At least it would enable you to see the game and still get a reasonable night's sleep.
Excellent, thank you. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah,
how are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. Are you checking in with me now?
Yeah,
Afterwards?
I am. Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit more relaxed now. Now we've worked through some bits, and I can see the value of those options that you've pointed out to me.
Great. All right then. Now go and get on with your work.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So that's it. I think you rounded that up nicely.
Yeah, and then knocked my microphone over there.
And we used something very current.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Good. I've learned a lot there. So next time I have to give difficult information about football fixtures, I'll know how to do it.
Yeah, well, I think West Ham are playing Millwall on my birthday, the 19th of September.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So nice little present for me. I'm not sure if we're at home or away on that one. I think it
won't really matter, will it?
No.
Yeah. All right.
So thank you. Good work.
Good.
We'll go on to the next part of the episode then, which is the conundrum.
All right, I've got a conundrum here.
You've got one still?
It's kind of yes. I mean, it is broadly related. I thought of it while I was walking the dogs this morning.
Okay.
Enjoying the slightly cooler air.
Yeah, it's come off a little bit, hasn't it?
I bet you think it's cold now, don't you? It's only 26 degrees today. Have you got a jumper on?
I've got my thermals on, man.
You'll be going for that world record where you have to put on 47 jumpers or whatever.
50. It's 50 to beat, remember? Yeah.
All right. So here we are. I've written it down for myself. So someone relatively new in recovery relapses briefly after a month. They've been out, they've had a drink. One drink, didn't get blotto, but they've lapsed. And they give the impression in the meeting that they're just going to ignore it and not count it. How do you address that self-deception?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways, really. Often there's an old phrase that comes up which I don't like, but it can be used to sort of deal with this situation where people say, "Oh, well, relapse is part of the recovery process."
Right.
Now, relapse doesn't have to be part of the recovery process. For example, I've never relapsed, so it doesn't mean it has to be. But people use that to sort of soften the blow a little bit and say, "Yeah, you've had it's a blip, it's a one-off. Let's get you back into the recovery process and make sure you learn from this." Okay, let's just have a little look at what's happened, what led to that picking up, and perhaps we can put plans in place to avoid that happening again.
Yeah.
So you acknowledge that it is that it's happened. Acknowledge that it's not great, but again, there's ways of mitigating this, and really just to try and relieve them of any guilt and shame around it that would potentially stop them going further, because the guilt and shame can lead to drink number 2, drink number 3, etc. So yeah.
And what about if someone's lapsed, but they're not feeling guilt and shame? They're just thinking, "Oh, it doesn't really matter because it was only one drink." They're not really kind of taking it seriously. So I know that you wouldn't necessarily do this. I mean, you do this in the fellowships, wouldn't you? Where you didn't go back to you didn't go back to day one again. You said, "Oh, I've done 32 days. I just had a drink. It's fine. I'm going to go 33 days tomorrow." What about that?
Yeah. No, you'd have to pull them up on that, because it is, those
How would
days.
you do that though?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, so but you wouldn't really go down the days route, because some people use the days and some people don't. They don't use that as a method. So it depends on the circumstances. But yeah, you've got to be quite easy on that, because some people do come into groups. I've seen it before. They said, over the last year, I've only had 2 drinks. And you think, well, that's not really. It's progress.
Yeah,
it's not really what we're looking for. We've got to get that down to 0.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're always trying to tread that balance between not being too self-critical, but also taking proper responsibility.
Exactly.
For
yourself.
Yeah.
And it can be quite tricky. It depends upon the attitude of the person as well. Really.
Yeah.
You can gauge that. Whoever's saying it, because again, in a group setting, you don't want people to think, "Oh, well, that's the norm. That's okay."
Yeah,
be
but you
fine.
also don't want to unnecessarily punish them so that everyone else
Quite.
feels like, oh God,
Yeah.
I'm never going to tell anyone if it happens to me.
You drive it underground. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a conundrum. You're absolutely right. It's right to be under this section because it can be tricky.
Well, thank you very much. What you're basically saying is I did some good work there.
You did good work, Graham.
Thanks.
Hope you're happy with yourself on that one.
Very much. That's not bad news. You had to deliver to me.
Should we go on to the gratitude list then?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. You first?
Well, I can go first.
Oh, do you want to go second then?
No. I can. Oh. I'll go because it relates to the heat and how I know how much you've suffered in this heat. So I've been, and I do acknowledge the heat. Don't get me wrong, because I've been very grateful for air conditioning in my car this week.
Yeah.
I had I got into my car, I think probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and the temperature gauge, it'd been sitting in the sun all day, my car in the car park. So there is mitigating circumstances on this, but my temperature gauge showed 45 when I got into there. Now, this is.
Did you know it went up that high?
No, I didn't. It's the highest it's ever shown. This is a juxtaposition to earlier on in the year where it went to -9. There's two extremes, which I think just by those two facts, it shows, global warming is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or climate change.
45 is quite toppy, isn't it?
It is quite toppy, yeah.
Yeah.
It did take my breath away a little bit. You open the car.
Literally, I imagine.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you grateful? Oh, you're grateful for air conditioning.
For air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was also grateful yesterday. I haven't been to a McDonald's for a long time.
No.
Many moons.
Me neither.
So I was grateful I met up with my daughter and her partner and my two eldest grandchildren.
Lovely.
And I had a Big Mac.
Did you?
Yeah, I was very grateful. I was grateful. And also they paid for it for me as well, which is even better.
Fantastic.
But it's great spending time with my two grandsons. I bet they like
a bit of McDonald's, don't they?
They do, yeah. Well, it's all World Cup themed, isn't it, as well as at the moment. As well.
Is it? Did they have Happy Meals?
Of course, yeah.
Do they get football-related toys in there?
Yeah, there's a little soft toy. Looks like like a little animal, like a round, soft animal with no particular designation. You couldn't see what animal it is, but it's wearing a little football shirt.
Not a giraffe, then?
Not a giraffe, not a missing giraffe.
So did you get one of those cups that have got famous footballers on them?
From McDonald's?
Yeah, because aren't they perhaps there for the meals or something? But
they may be. No, I didn't get one. No.
All right, because there are all sorts of David Beckham and Thierry Henry's on there.
Oh, you probably have to pay a bit extra for that.
Julian Dix, probably.
Julian Dix. I just wanted my basic Big Mac meal, and that was it. I didn't.
Yeah. Very nice.
So I was grateful for that as well.
Well, you've had a week full of gratitude, haven't you? You've had lovely hot weather that you really love because you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got a couple of things then. I'm grateful that it's not so hot now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because in my bedroom the other night it was 31 degrees.
Was it? Yeah.
That's too much, I had my fan on. It was essentially like trying to sleep with someone blowing a hairdryer at me. Absolutely horrendous. I don't know. I really can't understand how anyone enjoys heat at that level. It's just mental.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Once it's 23, 24 degrees, that's plenty hot enough. You don't need any more heat than that. It's like having a amplifier that goes beyond 10. Not necessary, is it? It's like Spinal Tap.
I suppose it is. I was thinking about this, and I think that it just gives me. Remember, as a child, we used to always spend a lot of the summer across on the continent, camping. And it was blisteringly hot, some of the places we went to there. And it gives me that, I don't know, that childhood feeling of
nostalgia.
Of being with my family, being safe, having fun.
Yeah, everything sunburn.
Well, we used to run around, and you get slathered in. I think factor 6 or 7 was as maximum it went up to in those days.
Yeah, most people in those days, you'd put on tanning oil, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So essentially, you were cooking yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
I wonder if people. Do you think people still use that stuff?
I really don't know. It's quite a dangerous way to behave, I'd imagine. But yeah, so that's why I like the heat. I think it does give me that. It's this. I get a good glimmer.
Okay, nice. Well, I'm grateful that it's cooler, but I'm also grateful that on Thursday this week I was invited down to the farm that I buy flour from for a little tour around their wheat fields, looking at their heritage wheat trials, and a lovely lunch with some other bakers, some of whom were professional, other home bakers. It was a very wholesome day.
Wow, that does sound good, actually.
It was really nice in the blistering heat. So
where was this?
This was at Nonnington, down near Canterbury.
Oh, right, not too far to go then.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. So that was nice because it's quite rare for me to go out at all.
Well, quite, yeah.
So to go out to a social occasion like that with lots of people I didn't know and be treated to a lovely lunch, it was superb. So
really nice, very good.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what sort of conversation it's got to be. You're bound together by flour, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We are. It was all wheat-related conversation, really.
Okay.
There was a lot of information about heritage wheat and biodiversity.
Oh, right, okay.
And, well, I mean, really, I suppose, joking aside, it was a lot of talk about food, which I quite like. As you can imagine.
Good. Well, I can understand why you'd be grateful for that. That's a cracker.
Yeah.
You may not be grateful for the lyric challenge that's come.
Well, next. I'm not. I've been doing very poorly recently.
Okay, we'll see how we get on here, shall we?
Yeah.
First question then.
Mm-hmm.
How can we make love if we can't make amends?
Yeah, it's ringing a bit of a bell. Can you give me anything?
It's it's a male vocalist.
Yeah,
just known for him on his own. So he's a solo artist.
Yeah,
quite a big one of his big hits.
What sort of decade?
I think it's sort of 80s, 90s, early 90s. He had a very bad mullet at one time.
Very bad mullet?
Yeah. I believe
English or American?
American, I believe. Yeah.
An American with a bad mullet. What sort of genre?
Unless I'm getting confused with someone else, I might be giving you some wrong info here. It's not an artist that I would give any house room to, that's for sure.
Would I?
Probably. You may do. You may do, may not.
I can't think of her. Is it sort of American Rocky then?
It's sort of ballady. Sickening ballads.
Sickening ballads, that genre that you can find on Spotify. I was just searching for sickening ballads. No, I don't know. Who is it?
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, that is who I was thinking of.
He did have wafty hair, didn't he, at one point?
Yeah. I mean, yes, it was a mullet, I think. Yeah, Michael Bolton. I think I might have that album.
Michael Bolton. How Can We Be Lovers is the name.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think I probably liked that song. And it was one of those where you buy the album and you think, I don't like anything else you've done.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the error of my ways.
I think you should have seen the error of their ways before you picked the album up, to be honest. But there we go. No points there, then, mate. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So that was Panama for me there.
You and I, in a little toy shop, buy a bag of balloons with the money we've got.
God, dear, oh dear. This isn't ringing any bell either.
Oh, isn't it? Okay.
No. You're going to have to give me a clue.
It's a solo artist again.
Yeah, that narrows it down.
She's German.
Oh. Is it?
I'm pretty sure she's German.
Is it Nina with 99 red balloons?
It's exactly that, yes. So there we are. With just a little bit of prompting, you got yourself a couple of points.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have been able to think of too many other single female artists that were German, to be honest.
It narrowed the field somewhat, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Okay, the third question.
That's 2 points there. Great.
Excellent. 2 points, yeah.
Yep.
Dig, if you will, the picture of you and I engaged in a kiss.
Crikey, these are tough this week. Dig, if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss.
Dig, if you will, the picture of
Yeah.
you and I engaged in a kiss.
No. Clue?
American solo artist.
Yeah.
He was wrote a lot of tracks that were very highly acclaimed.
Right.
An excellent guitarist as well, which he's less known for his guitar playing, more known for his songwriting ability.
Do you like him?
Eh?
Do you like him?
Yeah, I do. I have a sneaking respect for this guy. And he's done quite a lot of collaborations with people in the past. No longer with us.
Oh, I know who this is.
Okay.
I can hear it now. I couldn't get it at first. It's Prince.
It is.
And it's When Doves Cry.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I suddenly heard it. Yeah.
It fell in. Okay, so another couple of points for you there.
That's 4, isn't it?
It is 4.
Wow.
So if you get this one, the 4-pointer, your cruel device, your blood like ice.
It's funny. On first hearing, none of these are making me think of anything.
But they suddenly fall in, don't they? I'll give you a gap. I'll look out the window.
Yeah.
You're thinking.
Yeah, if we could take 3 minutes, or I can look it up. What is it again?
Your cruel device, your blood like ice.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to know this. Clue?
There is. I think you are a big fan of this particular American rock singer. Kind of thing. Did we see him at Reading? May well have seen him at Reading. I can't remember now, but he was. He's still with us. Quite elderly now, but he's been around. He had hits in as far back as the 70s.
I like him. You don't particularly, then?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, we both like him.
Iggy Pop.
No, it's not Iggy Pop. But you're in the right sort of age category.
Alice Cooper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can hear it now. Which song is it? Alice Cooper.
He says it. He almost speaks it, doesn't he? These lines.
Yeah. It's not Schools Out. It's not Schools Out, is it?
It's not. No. It's a much more recent hit.
Oh, okay.
When I say recent, it's still probably the.
You mean
80s.
the 80s? It was, I think,
probably.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can hear the single. It's one word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poison.
It is. Good work. There's a lot of. I could see the whirring then.
Do you know what I do when I can't think of a word? I don't know. I mean, perhaps different people have different methods for this, but I go through the alphabet.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and I think does it begin with A, B, C, and quite often it'll just pop up when I get to the letter.
Yeah, well, you did well there. Poison, yes. So you got 6. That's not bad, is it?
Oh, I got 8, didn't I?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you didn't get Michael Bolton.
Well, I got
2 points off.
What do you get for the?
Oh, you did. No, it is 8. Yeah.
Yeah, blimey, God, you didn't really think very hard about delivering me bad news there, particularly as the bad news was erroneous.
It was erroneous, but it was good news that you got 6. But in fact, it's even better news you got 8.
Yeah, I must have qualified for the last 32 now, haven't I?
Have you squeaked through? Yeah.
Who am I playing? Am I playing?
You got Iggy Pop away. Yeah.
When is it? It's not 1 o'clock in the morning, is it?
So there we go.
Very good. All right. Nice one.
Thanks, mate.
See you next time.
Laters.
Bye. Bye. Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes, just visit grahamlandy-wellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, We want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen. And we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.